Hi, so we are Prism. We were formerly known as Color Code Reader, and essentially we're developing an app that can tell the real-life color code of an object when it's aimed at it. So to get a little more background knowledge, you first want to understand, what we're kind of dealing with. And so I like to look at quotes, to get started. So one quote I like is, "I think the names of colors are at the edge between where language fails and where it's at its most powerful." And I take that to mean as there can be an endless amount of colors. You take one color and you change it slightly and it's a whole new color. And how do you name all these little tiny differences? Because when you look at how colors are made, it's light and light waves. So each color is a different light wave. And those are the only ones we can see. There are also ultraviolets and other colors that our eyes can't account for. But when you look at each of the different colors and the wavelengths between them, you notice that there could be even just a smaller difference between them, and it's a blend between them. And so really the amount of colors that there could be is endless. Some design changes that we added was we eliminated the social media aspect of the application. We were originally thinking we'd have it be kind of like Venmo, where other people can see what colors you'd recently captured. But we realized that that's unnecessary to our MVP. We also learned that a partnership with Pantone would be essential to keep our app afloat. We discovered a few apps that we would have to compete with. The first one, Cone, Live Color Picker, is really the app that we're trying to make. This app isn't very popular. As you can tell, it doesn't have as big of a rating, and the biggest thing that its customers ask for is Pantone. Apparently it used to have Pantone, but then took it away because it wasn't accurate, or maybe they didn't have the licenses with them. Another one we'd have to compete with is Color Name AR Pro. Now this app is very popular, but all this app does is it tells you the specific name of a color and also tells you the color code. But the focus of this app is more on the names. And the last one would be Adobe Capture CC. Now the thing is, I feel like it would be very hard to compete with Adobe because they have such a big following. This app that Adobe made, it basically allows you to search text, it allows you to create a color palette from an image, it allows you to image trace, and like several other really awesome features. But it doesn't show you the exact color code of the colors that you select. But one of the things I was thinking about is, as you got closer to developing our app, Prism, what is stopping Adobe Capture from adding that element into their already popular app? And another issue or design update that we are still in the process of figuring out is, how do we turn a profit? Now, if you see Cone and Color Name, they both charge for the app or have a pro version. We could do that where we have a free trial version and then a premium version. Or Adobe Capture, they're able to sell it for free because they have other revenues coming in. There's also ads that we could have, but none of these really seem like a way we'd want to go about doing it. So scheduling updates, as you can see, we've planned it out very far, even past this semester, but I went ahead and trimmed this just to the end of summer to show you. And right now we're up in mid-April, and we are in the middle of developing our UI UX design, which we have created a prototype of, and we're in the testing side of it right now, the presentation and getting our facts together. But the things we need to do coming forward is we need to present Pantone with an app prototype and refine and create edits that they may want. We also need to contact investors and backers. So one way we think of getting funding for this app would be using a site like BackerKit or GoFundMe to test the initial pre-released version of the app. So then we also have a final pre-release app and then the app release. But the BackerKit and GoFundMe would be essential. So one thing we would need for that is a very good description and a good marketing of our product. And the way I think that, or the way we are going about it, is by developing a video that we can have and show customers exactly, or potential customers exactly, what we are trying to create. So a BackerKit GoFundMe video is ultimately our end result to try to get funding. So then we have to ask ourselves, the critical path, are we on it? And I would still say yes, because ultimately our MVP is an app that you aim the camera at a color and tells you the exact color code of that object and name. So I would say yes, even though we've had to adjust stuff, we're still on the critical path of what we're trying to create. The asset development updates. So far we have several icons made, at least a app icon to fill it in. We have the basic UI UX design as well as prototypes and a video in the works. And so our web mobile projects. So this is the mock-ups that we have, and I don't like seeing them like this, which is why I'd rather show you in Figma where we have the clickable prototype. So let me open this up real quick. So here's Figma. This is where we created our prototype of our app so far. So here's our initial login home screen where it just says welcome, and the user would start by entering their name and their password, or if not, they can go and create an account or read our terms of service and our privacy policy. So then the user would sign in, and they would aim their camera. And so for this, the mock-up is aimed at an orange book bag, and the user would select exactly where on the book bag they'd want to find that color, and it would be right there, and that color is Asta Orange is what it would tell it. And then it would bring it up right here, and it would tell you the exact color codes in Pantone, CMYK, HSB of the color you selected. Now from here there could be slight variations, and we understand that because when you think about the magnitude of colors, and light values and shadows and how it may have shifted it slightly, we allowed the users into an adjust mode, an adjustments. So from here the user could slide brightness, color balance, hue, saturation, all of that to slightly shift the color to the color that they think is more accurate, which switched from from the other orange to this brave orange. From here we let the user then click on it and save that specific color to their phone, or even we let them share it. So from here is a big thing, because sharing has become very popular, and it's a big thing with apps and in the technology age is staying connected. So we allow the user to share it to Gmail, to Clipboard. Creative Cloud is a big one. OneDrive, Facebook, Twitter, etc. So we'd have to see which options we would also like to include, but those are the main ones we're focusing on currently. And then from there we also have our color palette history. So this is where the user can see all of their previously selected colors if they want to go back and find a color code from previous day or one from before and create a whole color palette to send themselves. So essentially, and then they would go back and start the process over again and find another color and add to their color palette, etc. So essentially this is the MVP for our product. And so you can see each of those screen captured and laid out there in front of you. And thanks. So right now we don't have everything set up, but this is what we would want to have, would be a Kickstarter or backer kit website they can go to, a website of our own where they can see exactly more details and learn more about our team and the process going into it. We'd also have our social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then right there we'd want to have a video URL which shows our backer kit video, which is more a promotional item. So thank you, and please let us know if you have any questions.